Hey, Scott Walker coming to you from Southwest Audio Fest 2024. I'm here in the Von Schweikert Ideon JMF Audio Room. I'm here with Damon Von Schweikert. How you doing today, Damon?
Good.
Good.
It's been a great show.
Yeah, very good show. Very good show. So, tell me, what have people said about the speakers and our sound in this room, the Cooper room on the base floor here, ground floor, of the speakers, etc.?
The feedback's been great.
It sure has.
You know, we're getting a phenomenal sound stage here.
Yeah.
The room has been very beneficial, but the system we have is just really coupling with it. We've got tremendously tight, deep bass, wonderful vocals, and the sound stage, the speakers just disappear. Everyone keeps saying how they can't believe how big the sound stage is.
One thing I keep hearing from customer after customer is that the speakers are completely disappeared in the room, as if no speakers are playing in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah. So, speaking of that, let's talk about the pitcher that's on the mound this weekend. Who's this guy?
This is the Ultra 55.
Yep.
We're showing.
Hold on. Let me pause you. Let me just before we get into the gruesome details.
Yeah.
What color?
This is Porsche Oslo Blue.
Oh yeah, God,
Yeah,
so
it's a wonderful color.
So sexy. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's discuss the speaker real quick, and then we'll talk about what we're doing in the back of the room, and for the viewers at home, the benefit of whoever's not here. So this is the Ultra 55. Where does this fall in the lineup?
This is our entry level into our flagship line of Ultra products. So that means
hold on. You always want to run on. I got to pull you back.
Good.
Okay. So you got the Ultra, you got the VR line, and you got the Endeavor line.
Correct.
So in the Ultra line, you have four models. You have the 55, you have the 7, you have the 9, and you have the 11. This is the entry level to your reference line.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So let's talk about the details of this bad boy.
Well, because it's an Ultra, that means we're the entire speaker is run with Masterbuilt Ultra wire. We have the Ultra mid-range from Ideon. It's an underslung magnet, so there's no rear pressure on the suspension.
So hold on. So there's no magnet behind the cone driver.
No, it's basically like a donut.
Like a donut.
Yeah.
The magnets are around the side, so there's no back wave influencing the mid-range driver.
Which is all about getting a very fast start-stop.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Which is very critical, obviously, for your mid-range. And then we have just a greater budget of very high-end, expensive European crossover network components, foil inductors, silver golden oil caps, all that kind of stuff. And then this one incorporates
the woofers.
Yes.
What size? Who makes them?
It's all Ideon. So they're ceramic drivers. They're very light, but also very rigid. We've been producing loudspeakers with ceramic drivers for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And the failure rate is almost nil.
Yeah.
No company would continue to use them if they weren't amazing.
So they're
very robust,
very pistonic.
Yes.
Very fast, very stiff, and just it gives you that wave launch that's very precise and very quick.
Yeah. So the whole goal of a loudspeaker is to simply create the wave launch, start and stop very fast. And all of our speakers incorporate several technologies to damp that back wave pressure. In the case of our woofer design in this module, we have a vent on the back. We call it an aperiodic vent. So basically, that wave launch goes, the back pressure comes in. We dissipate a lot of it with the damping, but then whatever energy is left just kind of floats out the back. So while it's rear-ported, it can be positioned near a wall and not have a big bass hump.
Come here and let's check out the back of this beast.
Yeah, we can explain some of the technology we have back here.
Yep.
So this model here comes in a traditional passive model that you would expect, but this one has the foundation technology. This is a technology we introduced originally in 2004. This is the fourth generation of amplifier that we're using. And what we do is we take the high-level input off of your amplifier and we feed it into the bottom pair of binding posts. That goes into a Lundahl transformer, which steps it down. That goes into an amplifier, and then it feeds a passive network. This is a purely analog passive solution, and that feeds your drivers. The reason we do all that...
So hold on, let me pause you for a sec, just to kind of break all that down. You're technically really machine gunning through this thing. Okay, so you have two woofers.
Yeah.
You have an amplifier hooked up to your woofers, right, to your speakers. Okay. The amplifier is actually driving the woofers. So
Correct.
the woofers are seeing the load off of your amplifier.
That's right.
But what that plate amp, the amp on the back of the speaker does, is it's able to supplement current and reinforcement to the woofers to your liking or to your acoustics, correct?
Yes,
and
correct.
it's fully adjustable. You can turn it up, turn it down to your room's acoustic situation,
Right.
correct? And show them which dial does that, Damon.
So it's this dial right here.
Yep.
The whole purpose of this technology is bass is often the hardest thing to get correct in an audio system. It's the number one complaint we hear. And so we consider this a very elegant solution. What this allows you to do, instead of being forced to place a traditional passive system pair of speakers wherever they're going to sound best in the room, which is not necessarily the best bass the speakers are capable of, or even where the best imaging is, you're kind of forced to dictate, to kind of split the difference. With this, you set it up for a different priority. In this case, for this room, I set it up for imaging and soundstage. And then once I got the speakers to disappear, then I just set the levels flat to that place and we're done. It's just set it once and done.
And not only that, it's just a real convenient way to overcome really challenging rooms in terms of bass response.
Correct.
Lastly, Colby, you didn't see it over here, but there's an ambient tweeter on the back which is able to add a little bit of rear fill at very high frequencies. Talk a minute about that, and then we'll finish up by talking about the woofers in the back.
Well, okay, so to talk about that, I want to talk about our wave launch. If you notice, we have no toe in here, yet the speakers are completely coupled with each other, a killer dynamic deep wide soundstage. And that's because when we do our wave launches, we try to do a spherical wave launch. Our founder, my father, theorized back in the 70s the purpose of loudspeakers to inversely decode what a microphone encodes. And as you know, bass and mid-range sound waves are very spherical. They'll just wrap around the cabinet and expand into the room. Higher frequencies like the tweeter are much more narrow, so they're more like an arc. To flesh out the polar response of our speaker, we use our AIR network, our ambient inverse replication. And you're right, it comes with an adjustment because depending on placement or subjective preference, you would adjust the level to something that would be more comfortable. So bass, for those that don't know, to set it up is much like a super tweeter. So you bring it to you can experience it, and then you back off one from there. That would be the traditional setting. But I have customers that have problems with their upper frequencies, and so they'll go a little bit more till they perceive a linear response where they're listening.
So I have a lot of customers with heavy draperies and super crazy dampening in their room. That you'd probably have the ambient turned up a little bit. Now in my shop, as you know, we don't have a lot of drapes, and it's more of a traditional studio type of situation where it's a little not live, but leaner in that regard, and they're turned down. So totally adjustable to your acoustics and your preference, really. Let's move on. Lastly, for the viewers, to the woofers we have in the back. Come on, follow us back here, Colby. Come on back here. Come on back here. All right. So I brought on my Black Beauties, which I absolutely love these things. They are so sick, man, so crazy. Talk to us. We're using two of the Shockwave. These are the VS12s?
Yeah, the VS12s, Mark IIs.
Mark IIs,
Right, these just came out this year.
So ironically, you're facing them towards the back wall.
Correct.
And you're only about 4 inches away from the back wall.
Correct.
Explain for the viewers how we're using these in this room. This room is only about 27 feet deep, okay? You don't really need subwoofers in here with the powered speakers. They sound amazing.
Plenty of bass.
However, let's talk about what the woofers do in this application.
Well, okay, so a couple things I want to talk about subwoofers real quick. There's a lot of, the term subwoofer brings up a lot of connotations about home theater and maybe something in the room that's shaking the room or whatever. That's not what this is. This is a high-end audio loudspeaker. It happens to be a 12-inch with a very stiff rigid cone, beautiful motor structure, and again, our proprietary amplifier technology. You notice in the case this one, we have several settings. We have gain, LF just, crossover frequency, and phase, and we have an infinite setting on phase between 0 and 180. And then because of the way we've isolated this from the network with a Lundahl transformer, you can invert the phase without any worry of your amplifier and go from 180 to 360. In addition, positioning of the speaker has to do with phase and timing.
Yeah.
So whether you're firing it towards the wall, 90-degree angle. Yeah. So what I'm trying to explain is there's an immense degree of adjustability to get this.
So in this case, what we're doing is we're correcting for bass in the room, and in some cases, subtracting bass.
Correct.
Canceling bass.
Right.
Now, what's interesting is you have speaker leads on this.
Yes.
So you're coming in speaker line level in from the speaker input. Actually, it's hooked up to the front speaker.
To the front speaker, but it is tied into your amplifier.
Yes.
So basically, this is the fastest, most accurate way to do what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you came off the preamp, the timing would be off. Now you could try to adjust for that, but it's not going to be as immediate.
Not only that, but you're getting the flavoring and the tonal quality and everything from the front speaker. It's just really a sub set of the front speakers.
Correct.
Working in the back of the room.
Right. And so basically what we're doing, technically I guess you could call this a subwoofer, but our implementation is not a subwoofer. Our implementation is, we call it active room correction. Even though it's purely analog and done with controls, there's no digital processing going on here. What we're doing is we're, in essence, we're launching the wave launch of the woofers from the front of the room, and then we're pressurizing the time and pressure and amplitude just right, and crossover just right to catch that at the back of the room. So we're canceling to equalize pressure right here. And by doing that, you're not allowing that big bass wave to come back into the room, which is going to cause phase issues. It's going to make the bass muddier, boomier, and actually it affects your mids and highs dramatically.
Dramatically. So what I am hearing from customers in this room is just the bass is unbelievable, is what people are walking out saying. And they don't even know these are on because you can't hear them.
No, they're not, they don't localize because all we're doing is balancing that pressure right back here with proper timing.
Great job, as always. Appreciate your partnership in this room.
Absolutely.
Scott Walker Audio, coming to you from Southwest Audio Fest 2024 with my main man, Damon Von Schweikert. Scott Walker Audio, connecting you to the moment.